So very good evening to everyone. So today we are going to talk about there is a concept called as a control statement. So in previous classes we discussed about a very fundamental such as input output statements called input and print, and Python operators such as assignment, arithmetic, relational, logical, membership, identity, and lastly bitwise operators. These 7 categories of the operators we have seen. I think in progressive classes, in many number of situations, we are going to use them for different perspectives and problems to be solved. But here, this concept is, become very vital role plays because without the control segments, we don't write any programs. Every program should have control statements. So control is nothing but what basically. See, every electronic device now, as per the human being, the electronic device need to behave. Means human intervention is required to control the product. Are you clear? Let's suppose, there is an AC. Whenever you switch on the AC need to be on. Without your intervention, if the AC will be switched on, it will be consume unnecessarily power. Lot of, power bill would come. So everywhere we are expecting that, we are writing the programs in order to control the real world objects according to our wish. For that, we need to write a programs. So by default, computer will execute program instructions in sequential manner. You know this concept, right? Any program you write, computer will read each instruction, execute sequential manner. But do you think all the programs required to be execute instruction in a sequential manner? No. Yes or no? See, let's suppose that a door. If you make that door as a smart door, when the person is stand in front of the door to come in, it recognize it. That time only it will be get open. Rest of the time it has to remain closed. Are you clear? You want such programs or always it needs to be on whoever would come? You don't want, right? You need a door to be a controlled manner. Now much more controlled manner would come. Let's suppose you are an employee of an IT. If you are an authorized developer or authorized person to be enter into the office, you have to swipe your RFID or maybe your ID card. If it is get recognized, the door would be get unlocked. Else remains locked. Are you clear? Which means you are controlling the door. The program is already existing in it. Are you clear or not? So everywhere such type of smart programs are required. So these statements are look like very simple, but the whole world is running because of this. So very carefully, any micro level of the doubts you have, please ask me so that I can tell you much more better example when to apply, when not to apply. Clear? So the control statement allows to change the flow of execution of program instructions according to end user perspective. Clear? You are writing the program. Let's suppose there is a remote. If whenever if you would like to stop now the status of the projector is in on mode. If I click on this particular button, power button, the true will become false. It's a boolean operator, right? False would become true, true will become false. It's a not operator, we can say. There is a program existing or not in this? This means this remote is able to control the LCD projector because of the program, because you have written such a programs inside. Yes or no? Let's suppose I wanted to reduce the volume of this particular device. It's an amplifier, right? If I reduce or increase, I'm reducing, right? If I increase, it will be keep on increases because I'm just trying to control this device according to my wish. What you need, you write a program instead of this device, which will be a control statement. Are you clear? Everything, your smart device, your laptop, your mobile, remote, whatever the electronic devices are, it's a combination of mechanical, electronics, electrical, all the devices are, integrated as a multidisciplinary devices nowadays. Though we cannot isolate each particular device accordingly. But all the devices are controlling through the program. Programming is a method which is trying to control all the appliances. Are you clear? Even the car is also running because of program. Program is controlling. Metro is running because of program. Rocket is running because of program. Aeroplane is running because of program. Satellites are running because of programs. Somewhere somebody is controlling it, but that requires programs. Yes or no? Great. So please, I'm just making you to understand that how great control statements are, right? So according to Python or C, C++, Java, what are the types of control statements? Prashita, can you tell me? Yeah. I need a classification. There are three categories of the control statements. Yeah. If is one kind of a statement under the control statement, okay. Conditional statements. See, you tell me, theory is better, practicals are better in order to remember the things. Practicals you will be easily remember, right? What about theory? Do you forget theory? Doctors are writing the prescription by reading a theory, or they will be write for practical? Huh? Theory, right? They'll buttify the tablet names. There is no other alternate. There is no formula to remember the tablet name. See, am I asking correct question? You guys are very good at doing practicals. Whatever the theory you have remembered during learning process, why don't you recollect it at the right time? I'm asking. What's the problem? Means you are just very confident that I can recollect it. No. It's really problem to everyone. For me, for you, for everyone. Pastors. No, anyone is going to church here? Arshad, do you know Zakir Naik? Have you heard this name? You have heard, right? Can you tell me two sentences about Zakir Naik? He is a Muslim guy. If he asks about Mahabharat, a sentence, he would tell in Mahabharat in which page, which sentence it is and what it tells, being a Muslim. Which means that that's what, on the platform I'm recollecting Zakir Naik name. Why, I don't know, because it requires minimum 20, 30 years together to remember all the things. Lakhs of the people used to be there in front of him. He's a public speaker usually. Right? Please, you will become an intelligent when you are able to remember the fundamentals theoretically properly. See, if you don't know the Newton's formula, how can you able to imagine that what's happening? Yes or no? E is equal to mc square. I is equal to I by V is equal to I by R. We are all remember the formulas. But what they will do, in what context they will be used, we don't know. But now you know how to execute them practically. How to tell theory, we don't know. I think it's a very typical point to be understand actually. Now, when you are a kid, if I say my kid that, Array, auntie is coming, you say hi. See, we from the Rayalaseema, our bad habit, whoever it is. Now, Praharshita is 20 years old, right? My kid are probably 4 years, 5 years old. I'll say Akka is coming. My wife used to be, she is from Telangana. She used to tell Harshita is 20 years old. This boy is 5 years old. How can you tell her to call sister? You tell them to say her auntie. Aparashita will feel bad. Are why this bloody guy is telling me auntie? Yes or no? Right? See, that is a very properly. Shall we follow the fundamentals or we shall follow the environments is very important. Isn't it? In Hyderabad, we used to be called, if we call to, even I'm a 40 years old, somebody will be, somebody aunties or somebody who is neighbor for me, they used to be look like older, maybe they have a children's, but I shouldn't call them like auntie, right? I can say amma, I can say sister, I can say other words. But this auntie, uncle, these are the bloody words actually. We should not call every time. That degrades the level. Are you clear? No, no. It's very important. Even the heroes and bada people used to call Andy, Garu. They are very, Andhra people will speak very nice. Even Telangana, Ralsima people will have a respect towards the people. But Andhra people will talk very nice Telugu where they would respect very politely to everyone. Everyone would be happy with them. So please, theory is important. If you forget the theory, sometimes we cannot classify. That's what I'm asking you. What is the classification? Might be, I think I don't know as many number of time I used to classify. But still, you should not take 1 second also to classify it. What are the types of programming languages? Can you tell me? You have read, you have got 90% of marks in BTech. Now you are not able to classify how many types of programming languages you have. Probably when I was out from the BTech, probably you might not born also that time. That time I studied all this. Tell me, what are the types of programming languages? Now Python is high level programming language. Before that, we had a machine level language, we had a assembly level language. Why they outdated? Why you are not learning them? Are you clear? See, these are all fundamentals. When I was BTech, I learned COBOL, I learned Lisp, I learned ADA, I learned assembly level languages. We had only C language that time when I was BTech. Afterwards, almost 10 programming languages I learned myself. There was no faculty for me to train all of them. Are you clear? So please, now you are learning, unfortunately, with a need of certain things, learning Python. Tomorrow, if you go to company, they would ask you to learn C Sharp. They would ask you to learn Java. They would ask you to learn Golang, Ruby, Groovy. These, if one language, if you are perfect, within 1 week, any programming language you can learn just like that. Because all the programming languages has the same purpose. Their clients are different. Let's suppose C Sharp.NET is a Microsoft programming language. They have their own client. COBOL is IBM language. They have their own client. Now Google has their own language called Golang. Till today, there was only one particular company was used Python 100%, which was the Google. Now they have stopped using Python. All the Gmail, YouTube, whatever the Google, everything have made with only Python. Now they stopped using it. So please, understand the survey and understand the fundamentals of the concepts. Otherwise, for a longer time, you become 20 plus years of experience in IT company. But nowadays, freshers also would come. You have to give a kit. You have to give a knowledge about the project to them. If someone suddenly asked, what do you say? They would ask, right? These days, students are very crazy. They don't care about who is talking. But they can ask the question just like that. Yes sir, no. You should be in a position to tell them, appropriate answers. There is a Suma, right? You know Suma? She is an anchor, right? She used to attend a lot of events and all, right? People are going to ask her, a lot of questions where she cannot answer also. One day would come for you, right? So you are a technical man. So day would come, you should be in a position to answer. Even nowadays, our kids, my daughter is night, she was holding this mouse. He learned theoretically that this pointing finger will be left, ring finger is to be right, is supposed to be, it seems. I was telling her, please don't use this and this. You uses these two words. This is the middle finger. This is the pointing finger, right? So use these two. This is to left. No, this is the right positions to be operated as. No, no, no. My teacher said like that. Dad, she was telling me. How can I handle her? I'm practically showing her by holding this particular mouse, right? Still, she is not listening me. Very practical, and we have to be correlate theoretical sentence with highly practical. Now, if there is a small asynchronous between theoretical statement and practical, definitely things would be go wrong. That's the point. We have to very strict in that. Whatever the sentence you use mathematically, it has to be practically gives the same result. No, no, sir. Programmatically, you are doing right. Therefore, it is giving little slightly wrong answer. If you do mathematically, it gives 100% wrong right answer. We should not, right? We are learning programming because manually, if I ask you to do 10 transactions per second, you are able to do one transaction. You are a banker, right? Per day, how many people you are serving at a bank? 20 people from morning 11 o'clock to till 3 o'clock. Morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours. Only 4 hours they would work. Rest of the time they would engage with something else, lunch. After 3 o'clock, bank is closed. Before 11 o'clock, they'll come at any time they would come. Are you clear? Sir, no. Being a banker, you would be able to serve 20 people per day. But being a payment gateway called as a phone pay, at a particular point of time, 10 crores people also can do the transactions. Now, will you prefer the banker or will you prefer the software application? Obviously, right? So, we can also do mathematically, but human is very negligible, hardly. Yes or no? Therefore, we need solutions by the program. We don't require your intelligence. We require your intelligence, but make it as a mechanism. Recently, I'll tell you one case. There was a case called Revant Reddy, right? So he manifesto has given that for all the ladies free ticket, right? Do you have that option now? Do you know? Yes or no? Did he went with a free of cost? No, or previous few months back. Now that option is not there. Why? According to the law, we, male and female are casting our votes. Why you are giving privilege to only women? One lawyer have applied a case against to Revant Reddy. So, now this High Court has given that Revant Reddy is right. Supreme Court got declared that it is injustice. This law is applicable both the people. So therefore, this law has this particular the strategy, whatever scheme has to be deleted from the manifesto. They have deleted. What I'm telling you is that if write a program, there are laws, conclusions. Which law is applicable to give the judgment? What kind of judgment? If you correlate lakhs or crores of laws and judgments, make it as a software, judge knowledge is not required, right? Why these many layers? If you go to lawyer, you may approach lawyer or what, I don't know. If you just go for the notary, minimum 2,000 rupees we have to give. Recently, I went to one lawyer. Sir, there is a one problem with 1 acre land. So other party, already I occupied that land, but other party is intentionally troubling me. It has to be resolved by taking a injustice, injunction order from the court. He was asking, what is the cost it might be? He was asking. Why cost required for you? I told. No, you have to give me, if I resolve that problem, what if the cost of the property is 50 lakhs, 20% you have to give it to me. Huh? Is that really that much worth for these bloody liars? Just a BA they study and simply LLB and they'll be just grab the money. These kind of buildings, 10 buildings are there in city. Next in future, you see doctors, lawyers are the worst professions. They used to be useful for watchman jobs only. Really, that kind of more intelligent devices are coming into market. You cannot believe. You need not to visit hospital. Just go through the app. You just give your problems like symptoms like fever or something. It gives you 999.9% accurate tablets to you with a stamp that gives you. Just go to medical shop, bring the tablets, and you have it. And what about surgery? Robo will do. Now already Nano Robo is doing all our brain tumor operations and heart related problems, kidney related problems, all these Nano Robo is doing. Means the whole body, whatever, very sensitive human, for that also humanoid robo, your program, humanoid robo means program, right? Your program is able to control and it is able to resolve the problem much more better than the human. Anesthesia related problem. There are many problems we used to see at a hospital, but small reasons patients are dying. It's inappropriate precautions by the doctor at the right time. See, oxygen cylinder is hardly 10,000. If you go to one new hospital, like multi-specialty hospital, per day they are taking for ICU 10,000 bucks. 4 5 years back, I went to children's hospital. I told my kid is good. Even if die also, nothing would happen. Just let you discharge. I asked. Huh? For oxygen, you are charging 10,000 per day. That's really unfortunate, right? Scientifically, we have to think. You see, in future, everybody will have oxygen at our home, and most of the things will be there at our home. Because the cost, when you compare, 2 times if you visit the hospital, it will be cost almost 50,000. Those things we can buy and we can keep at our home. Clear? So please, the world is looking all these particular programming to solve the problems where the expensive is becoming gradually day to day more and more. Really, it's very important point to understand. Therefore, programming becoming more and more powerful because everywhere we require the assistance of yours. I'll tell you some problems. You have to write the programs according to my wish. That's what China, all these people, small 10th class people used to write all these programs because they're highly practical. They'll write directly on top of this program, on top of this remote. We are writing the program on top of the tool. We don't know where to write, how to write for this tool. Yes or no? Now it's a time you learn this program, write for this particular device directly so that you will get to know, oh, this program would be control this device. Right? So please, understand that accordingly. Yeah. So let's classify the control statements now, conditional statements. Second category is, yes, correct, exactly. Looping statements. Looping statements, also known as iteration statements, also known as repetition statements. Clear? The lastly, we have special statements. Clear? So now comes to conditional statements. Condition means what? Condition means what? Basically, condition means there is a threshold value. Condition means temperature of your body. There is a threshold value is for a healthy man up to 100 temperature can have. If the temperature will go beyond your 100 degrees of your body, that's a condition where you are crossing the limits. If it goes beyond the 100 degrees of your temperature, which means you are unhealthy. Are you clear? You will not be allowed to go into hospital. You will not allowed to go into supermarket. You will not allowed to go in police station or railway station or airport or everywhere the same condition. Are you clear? Conditional statements are made to take decisions. That's the reason conditional statements are also known as decision-making statements. Also known as branching statements. Branching statements. What does it mean? Branching means what? Either left or right. Branching means what? There is a tree, there will be two branches, right? Left or right, something else. So, either you take a temperature. You take a temperature. Temperature is a root node. If your body of a temperature is greater than 100, it will be give you the decision making is not to allow. If it is less than, go allow. Left is the one branch, right is the another branch. Are you clear? So obviously, there will be a decision making is mandatory here. For that, you write a program. So there we need a statements. What are they? If statement, if else statement. What exactly if else statement will do? If something as per your expectation event would occur, if will be get executed. Else, let's suppose you are going to ATM. If your ATM PIN number is right, yes or no, further it will ask you to enter the amount to be entered for the withdrawal. If ATM PIN number itself is made a mistake, it will tells you that, hey, you have entered the invalid PIN number. Either to go left side decision or right side decision, it's up to you. It doesn't be predefined, but it might likely to happen accordingly. అది అలా జరుగుతుంది. It happens either this or this. Right? Accordingly, if else statement would be solve the problem when two possibilities would occur. Two possibilities, only two possibilities. What occurs? What happens? Only either positive event occur using if statement. If statement doesn't occur, then obviously else statement will handle negative test case. Where is it? No issues. Okay. Okay. So every time it will be very quite commonly happens. You take any example, like, there is a fuel. There is a fuel of, now, something called new bikes, new cars are coming. If a person is drunk, automatically there is a dashboard will be there in front of the driver, right? It has a sensor. It recognizes your drowsiness of your eyes and your wine level, and it will be not allowed to start your ignition itself. It will be preventive measure, right? It will be saves the other's life. This fellow will also go anywhere, it doesn't matter, but he will be spoiled somebody's life. So if else statements are very much powerful. Now you may believe or not, bike stand. If the stand, if you keep, if you're trying to start, the vehicle will not get started. Because earlier older vehicles, if even though the bike will be in stand mode, it will start. Then children will rise it and they'll die. The small sensor, if the status of the stand is on, ignition will not start. Who is going to take out the stand? Only big, like, elder can be able to take and he can hold it. Children's cannot. Yes or no? A semi stand also doesn't allow. Are you clear? If else, everywhere you cannot imagine, even switch, even if the inverter, power inverter, if electric power is there, inverter become off. If inverter is on, electric power is off. If else, everywhere you cannot imagine, but you have to imagine the situation. ఇక్కడ నేను ఏం రాయాలి, ఈ ప్రాబ్లంకి నేను సొల్యూషన్ చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నాను, ఏం రాయాలి స్టేట్మెంట్? యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఇమాజిన్ దర్ ఈస్ అ కేస్ వుడ్ హ్యాపన్. See, there is a lift. We used to see lift, right? Many people used to die in the lift also. Automatic lifts, semi lifts, or many lifts. We are in the artificial intelligence world. If we write a smart program such a way that I think it will be prevent somebody's life. See, once the lift will be go off, it will be going down. The fourth floor kid is going to about to remove this particular door. Will you allow? Even when they're trying to open it, can't you give a small alarm? Clear or not? A small 5 voltage, if you supply for the lift, it doesn't happen. It is not harmful for the body. 5, our mobile and all these are 5 volts. It will be consumed. Even if we touch our battery charger, that what is called slot, right? It doesn't shock, right? There are laser shocks. There are many situations, like, if you go abroad, there are no signals are maintained by the police people. There will be laser walls going to happen. Whenever there is a red for you, you have to wait. You cannot jump. Immediately there is a wall called as a red wall, would be virtual wall is going to be established. If you're trying to go through that red laser beam, such a way that it will be very harmful for your skin. So people don't do any dare to go through that particular. So solution is giving to avoid the police people. Police people not necessary. What our Indian police people will do? Their job now become very peace. They're trying to catch hold like us people. Their job, nothing they'll do more than that. If they speak in mobile, in signal, there is no fine. But if we speak, then there is a fine. You might have seen, right? So it's all very fun, actually. Now problems are going to be commit with different ways. Try to solve them with the innovative ideas. Yesterday I have seen one case. Even I know that program, right? There is a one software. This Mufkamja College Muslim students have got hackathon prize have given them. Their project is, there are 100 employees are working in the office. Who are working, who are time passing, I wanted to know. You take hotel, you take many even students also. Once the class is done, I believe that you guys are doing. One fellow will sit with girlfriend and they'll time pass just like that. Listen, how long? There is a camera, right? Camera will be trying to point out individual person, whether he is seeing something else, whether he is doing or something else. Everything will be captured and it will be shown to me in cabin. What's happening at a class? What's happening in the hotel? See, there are 100 workers who are. If a task is done, you can assign me some other work you can do, right? I'm paying money for you, right? Why you are sitting idle? That's not correct, right? If your hotel, will you do like that? No, right? Nobody is taking it as responsible. Simply escaping. How long you will escape? Years together you will escape. Hardly 4 or 5 people will work very dedicatedly. Rest of the people will just simply neutralize their behavior. Simply smartly they would work. How can I recognize? It's very ridiculous, right? If this can be observed in hotels, one person will actually work that work, this work very quickly. They used to do. Rest of the people, hey Babu, order తీసుకున్నాం అనుకో. Wait, sir, I'm doing something here. He will keep on waiting the people. He won't serve people with a great irritation. They leave from the hotel also. Whose fault it is? Huh? So please think. These programs we are now learning to solve the problems for the industry level, for the organization level, for the customer level. Everybody should get the service, not to be face certain problems. At individual level, the problems has to be solved. For that, we need to write a programs. We are all commercial applications, we are getting benefited. Still, there are a lot more problems. Still in villages, many problems are there. Yeah, you can go. Yeah. Okay. So I think here there is a one type of a statement is if-else statement. You have to tell that the if-else statement can be solved only two events, either that or this. But there is a third case also likely to happen in everybody's life, isn't it? So if there is a snake, will you kill or will you run away? Or will you inform to someone? The possibilities are, there are many possibilities. The door will be opened if there is a man, there is a woman, or maybe male. Transcend also will be there. It's a third case, right? Then the if-else statement doesn't handle. That's what. To implement that problem to be solved, whether you will apply only if-else or will you go to some other statement, the situation will make us to utilize the other part of the statement. Are you clear? Situation will make us to utilize that. So for that reason, if more than, if ELIF else is a statement, the statement can solve more than two conditions. More than two conditions or events. So here the possibility is that if statement condition one. Condition one. If the condition one doesn't body of if statement failed, then it will be go to the statement. Condition two. Condition two also gets failed. Then it will be go to condition three. Condition three is also get failed. Then there would be a last priority, or it can be go to up to any level.